little pig plus cat intro. Okay, so hey there, buddy botanist. I'm Aaron.
I'm Evie.
We're just a couple backyard botanists, and this is
Botany
for
for
kids.
Kids.
And today we're talking about this flower,
The Star of Bethlehem.
the Star of Bethlehem, or Ornithogalum umbellatum.
There's like 20 names.
Do you remember what ornithology is the study of?
Birds.
Birds. Ornithogalum. So bird. Galum has something to do with
Bird poop.
Bird
It's
poop?
Bird poop because it's white.
Yeah, because the flower is white, but the Star of Bethlehem name comes from apparently it being left over from like the Star of Bethlehem falling to earth and then the remnants growing this plant in some sort of relation to biblical folklore. However, the really cool story behind this flower has to do with this, and that's that
Leonardo da Vinci drew it accurately, and nobody else did it accurately.
Right, exactly. So in the 1500s, during medieval times, most botanical drawings or art in general was heavily embellished and kind of fantastical, rather than what Da Vinci did as, one of the earliest inventors, scientists, artists, etc. And that's that he kind of picked up the patterns and the symmetry and the real botanical nature of the Star of Bethlehem. So there's a lot of other common names for this plant. You remember any of them?
10 o'clock and 11 o'clock
11,
lady.
yeah, 11 o'clock ladies. Nap at noon is one of them.
I don't remember.
And so what is that? What do those names have to do with?
The time is because they open later in the morning and they close late at night.
Right, exactly. So they stay sleepy until the afternoon, basically, until late morning. And so we actually showed this flower, and we'll take a closer look at it here in a little bit. We showed this flower in one of our first episodes when we were looking at flower structure, because we were pointing out the male and female parts on a flower. You want to remind them what the male parts are?
The male parts are the stamens, and the female is pistil.
Right, yeah. So we'll take a zoomed in look here in a second where we can easily see those stamens and that pistil. But very cool, rich history, neat name with bird poop, lots of really cool names that are indicative of how the flower functions, and a neat artistic history. We'll also look at some zoomed in characteristics here in a minute as well. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we can easily review the flower parts on this one. So this one has, just like we saw in the lilies last week, this is not in the lily family, but the asparagus family. The problem with the asparagus family is that it doesn't have a lot of similar physical characteristics. But in this plant, the Star of Bethlehem, we've got 6 tepals, or 3 sepals, and 3 petals. But what's cool and super useful in this plant is that we can see those stamens right there in the middle, with the anther at the end with the pollen on it, and the filament holding it. And then we can also see in the middle that pistil, and we can see that that pistil contains the ovary that's going to swell into that fruit, or that capsule, like we see after it's been pollinated. It's a really good example of flower structure that we see in this Star of Bethlehem flower.
Welcome back.
All right, so just as a reminder, this is the
Star of Bethlehem.
Star of Bethlehem. Ornithogalum umbellatum is its Latin name. It has a really scientific name. It has a really cool, rich history in art because
Leonardo da Vinci drew it. He was a pioneer.
Yeah.
Of realistic art.
Yeah, he was a pioneer in realistic botanical art. Really cool history. The plant itself has been used in herbal medicine, which is kind of sketchy because
it's very poisonous.
Yes, it turns out it's poisonous.
And animals.
It's full of toxic compounds that are bad for your heart that we call cardiac glycosides. Even though its use in herbal medicine was mentioned as early as the 1st century in one of the earliest herbal medicine books called De Materia Medica, which just means material for medicine, that Dioscorides wrote, who was this ancient Greek dude. So in any case, really cool history with Da Vinci, the Star of Bethlehem. As always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Evie.
We're just a couple of backyard botanists, and this is
Botany
Botany for
for
Kids.
Kids.
Whee!
Why'd he say we?